Welcome to another episode of Hobbies My Wife Hates. Today I'm going to paint a Legionnaire from the Terrestrial Royal Foundry faction. This is an interesting faction because they're full of mutations, and but they are a very wealthy faction because they have a lot of Darkstone. So sit back and watch the video, and I'll see you at the end. Okay, so we're going to start with our base coat here of Terrestrial Titan. And we're going to paint everything, the pants, the tunic, the various parts except for the boots, the belts, the helmet, pouches, etc. Those will be a different color. Making sure that I didn't leave a cut mark on there from when I cut them off the sprue. Nope, there's a little, those are attached to his uniform. So we'll paint all the different parts of his uniform. Again, I want to try to avoid getting it on the belts because we're going to use a contrast paint. And when you use the contrast paint, the area underneath needs to be as close to white as possible. You're asking, why did Steve always paint the Legionnaire? Well, initially it was just consistency. Paint one of each faction. But I tried to paint the Engineer the other day and videotape it. Fortunately, I did a crappy job videotaping it, so here's what you would have saw. I really like that model. Playing it's a blast as well. But here we are, we're painting the Legionnaire. And just like every strike team, you gotta have a Legionnaire. So we'll get all the various parts of his back. And then we'll do his front. By the way, I know I'm not the world's greatest painter. I just want my miniatures to be tabletop ready, but look good while doing it. In all reality, I find painting the best part of gaming. It's something I can do late at night, early in the morning, after everybody's gone to sleep at night. But the best part is it's therapeutic. And after a crazy day at work, it's just kind of nice to know that you can paint miniatures. So, these are because a lot of detail on them. A lot of patches and belts and all sorts of stuff. Paint the pants. another pant leg. And these little things. And that little thing. And oh, look, I forgot a portion of his pants. And his, there. Oop. Can't forget this. And we'll let that dry. And then we're going to put a blue wash. In this case, we're going to use dark tone blue. I know when you see other painting videos, you got your painter with a nice clean palette. Yeah, bah. I'll clean them when I'm dead. And we're just gonna put this blue wash over the purple. Again, making sure we avoid getting it on white areas. So I don't want to have to go back over them with white if I can avoid it. I see it. And we will let that dry. All right. All right, so we're back. And we're going to do a dry brush. So we're going to do a dry brush of 50-50 of Alien Purple and the Terrestrial Titan. Let's do a quick dry brush. And we're still going to come back and do highlights. Yeah, that's the shade we want. And then with the dry brush, and we'll just take some Alien Purple and maybe a 75% Alien Purple with that Terrestrial Titan. But this time mostly the Alien Purple. And we're just going to start doing the sleeves. And the folds of his tunic here. Not too much. Let's fix that. His sleeve here. Just getting the tops, anywhere the light would hit, but not really all the way around. Here we got these folds, pant leg, kneecap, side of leg. Painting up the sides of the row, the tunic. Kind of feathering it up, getting the folds. And just get the arm here. The arm over here. Right there. And just back of his arm here. And then we're going to just do a straight up alien purple highlight. Right around here. A little bit. Maybe a little bit on the sleeve. Just right here. And right there. And there we are. The basic tunic. And we'll let that dry for a few minutes. Now we're going to paint the boots, belts, pouches, gas mask, and gloves. Oh, and the belt, gun strap pouches using camo cloak, which is a speed paint. And for speed paints to work the way they're supposed to, you need to paint over something white. White primer, white whatever. But Just get a strap. And gloves. Other glove. You want to come back and touch up the knife. Was it the gas mask? Get rid of the lenses so that the green gets in the cracks. We'll touch up the lenses later. And right, so so this backpack up. We gotta get the boots. All right. All right. Let's see if we got all our green. Looks like we got everything we wanted green. Okay, so we'll let that dry. Okay, we're back. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to highlight those areas with army green. All right. So here, it's going to go over the bridge of the mask. And then I will touch up certain areas. All right, and we got to get the belt. Getting do the and then The paint wasn't dry on those boots. Just do the back of the boots. This boot, as the light would hit it. You just want to get the sides and the top. You do not have to paint the other side because the light wouldn't hit it. I'm going to leave that aside. The camo cloak. This, we'll just do a and of course his gloves. And almost a dry brush over the fingers. Then we'll do this glove. And we'll do the gun strap. Okay. And with that, the green is done. And we'll let that dry. Next, we'll just quickly do the base. I got these bases on Etsy. There'll be a link below where to purchase them if you like them. I'm getting nothing from these guys. I don't even think they know I exist. And we'll just paint that base real quick with, where is it? Speed Paint Runic Gray. We'll just paint all this rubble, like Urban City rubble. Initially, I was going to paint these guys using some kind of dark stone base because their background, they were really big into mining dark stone. But I had purchased these bases enough for a whole faction, and I didn't use them when I did Kakaris or Tarkan or Liberation Army, and then suddenly I was down to my last faction, but and hadn't used these bases, so I'm using them here. All right, and we don't have to wait for that to dry. We can move on to the metal parts. For that, we're going to use Speed Paint Enchanted Steel. And then with this, we're going to go over the gun barrel, the knife, the helmet, and this canister and his nozzle on his nose. And I'll just get a blade. All right, get the nozzle on his mask. And All right, so we'll finish his helmet and the canister on the back. All right. Okay. So we got these metal areas, and we'll let them dry. Next, use them really quick so that it can start drying. We're going to take some matte white and just touch the lenses. All right, and then we'll move on to the rest of the model. With this, we're going to do some little metal areas using regular Fanatic's gunmetal. I'm going to use this to get buttons and buckles. And just do a little highlight with it on the mask. On the blade. It's going to make it shiny. Top of the gun. You see right here where this, you got clipped off the screw. And we'll do the top of his canister and even top of the helmet. In all reality, we really want to make the helmet more realistic. I'll probably put something glowing on it, you know, some yellow or something, represent the sun or the sky or something. All right, I think that about does it with the metal. Oh no, I'm sorry. There's a couple buckles and there's a button here, button there, button there. And then belt buckle. Oh. All right, and in the front, that just about does it with the metal. I suppose we can. Right. And we've got a few other little things to do, and we'll be done. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to use some Grim Black speed paint. I'm just going to paint the tubes. Tube over here. And oh, we missed an area with some metal. We'll just do the clasp on his gun, his rifle. Another area we neglected to get adequately is the top of the drum on his gun. All right. And our next step, we're going to paint some wood. And with that, we're going to use dark wood. That could have been a disaster if it blended in paint. All right. Almost done. This badass dude is going to be ready for that battlefield shortly. All right. We'll let those dry. Let the eyes make sure they're dry, and then we'll come back and do the lenses back. What we're going to do now is we are going to paint the side of the base. I want the lenses to be the last thing I do. All right, we're gonna do the sides of the base just in black. So we'll let that dry. And then we'll come back and we'll finish it up with the lenses. Okay, we're back and we're going to do the lenses on the goggles. And for that, we are going to use appropriately lens flare glow. Got to shake it. This is an effects paint. You got to shake it really well. Once I'm done with all these Treaderin pieces, it's a color I may not get to use much. But with that, just take a little bit of paint and touch each lens. Now it doesn't matter if it spills over a little bit onto the miniature, because that could give it the light bouncing back on the metal areas. Here's what I'm going to do. There's metal there, and the light would probably bounce off of it. And with that, this Legionnaire of the Royal Foundry faction is done. Well, there we have it. My final faction of the original 6, the Royal Foundry. I really enjoyed painting these miniatures. It was really fun. Now we're ready for gameplay. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. And I hope to see you again in another video soon. See you later.